welcome back to the channel. This is episode 3 of Ahsoka.
First 2 episodes kind of felt like a little bit of a prologue to a grander story that's about to take place. I think the characters of Baylan and Shin are my favorite. I feel like when they're on the screen, I'm just captivated by their presence. Like, I think they're so badass, and I'd watch a show entirely about those two.
Yeah, definitely. I foresee so much happening, hopefully, with this new galaxy. Just their journey in general, I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited to see our good old Rebels characters again. There's a lot of excitement around the character of Marok, I think is how you say it, which is the one who was the one with Shin and
The one who
Baylan.
fought Ahsoka,
yeah, kind of like the Inquisitor-looking one. Some people theorize it's Starkiller, which we don't really know too much about Starkiller. We never played Force Unleashed. We've heard kind of like lore about him, and we've kind of looked up stuff just because it's interesting and exciting, and it does seem like a very cool character, but I don't really know fully how that would work.
If they were to do that, which based off of like the small tidbit of information I know about that character, I feel like it could be really cool to kind of set up Ahsoka versus that character. You can go dive into that character if you want to like more to that, but obviously I don't know that much about that character. We know the actor. We looked at his face in case there was like a face reveal. We could actually be like, oh, that's Starkiller.
Yeah, like recognize it.
Yeah, otherwise we're just gonna be like, we probably wouldn't recognize him otherwise. But I think he's also done a lot of other voice work as well. I'm pretty sure he voiced Maul in the Clone Wars, like in the show, and then in Rebels as well too. I think he also may have voiced the brother in the Mortis arc.
I'm holding out hope that that character is someone with 2 U's. And if you know, you know.
Possibly a clone.
Imagine. I'm not gonna say anymore, but that would be crazy.
That'd be
I would
spoilers
die. I
for
would
the
die. I
Heir
would
to the
literally
Empire.
die.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't think so, but
I feel like the Star
that's
Killer
my fun headcanon.
is a little bit more realistic. And you know, I guess one of the things that I was saying was Barriss in the first couple of episodes, just because it seemed like, okay, well, this character has a mask for a reason.
Yeah.
You would think that, like, okay, they don't want to have this character's identity revealed. Hopefully, possibly teasing something bigger, like a big reveal.
I mean, it is fun to speculate. It also is a potential that it's just like a brand new character or something too. And I mean, like I said, it's just fun. It's fun to talk about it and come up with theories.
I feel like I'd get disappointed if it wasn't like a bigger character. But I've gone down this road with Grogu and who was going to save Grogu before. Everyone was always like, oh, it's Mace Windu. It was Anakin himself. But then why would it be Anakin? Is it Palpatine?
Right.
I will say the thing that I probably disliked from the first 2 episodes, which I feel like I'm not the only person here alone, is Sabine being stabbed and living from that. Not to say that, you know, I just know in my head they're not killing Sabine in the 2nd episode. She's going on this arc with Ahsoka. But if you were gonna do that, could you like cut off her hand or something? Like, quit stabbing people in the chest and saying that they're gonna live through that after you've killed Qui-Gon. But you know, they're making a habit of stabbing people in the torso.
Yeah. It's funny, like all the people who are like the anatomy of the stab. It's
if
like
you
this
have to
one,
justify it,
but
I
then
think it's
Qui-Gon's is in the middle.
Yeah, what was the thing with the Grand Inquisitor? He has 2 stomachs. How the fuck would the viewer know that? Unless you're like deep in the lore, how would you know that? I would know that. I thought they were like retconning Rebels, and I was like, that's fucking stupid.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh,
So like
training
lightsabers he's got?
Yeah.
He's on his General Grievous status.
Feels very like samurai.
Learning to wield the Force takes a deeper commitment. That's something you'll have to discover.
Well, I discovered that according to Hu Yang, I'm the worst candidate to be a Jedi out of every Jedi he's ever known.
He did say that.
It's true.
I love Hu Yang. He's so blunt.
I can't see. How am I supposed to fight?
The Force.
I want you to see
Trying to
more
mimic
than just
Luke.
your eyes. Do you know where I am?
Next to Hu Yang.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Very funny.
Oh.
I'm not doing that great. Come on now. Kanan trained you with the Darksaber twice.
No. She's just kind of like hacking because she's not using the Force really. Oh, Yang is just like
Sitting in the corner being judgmental.
you have much to learn.
Anger and frustration are quick to give power. but they also unbalance you.
Very samurai.
Kind of, yeah, this does feel very samurai.
Tara, you look well. How's young Jason?
Fine, Chancellor.
Jason!
He's on.
Show us his green hair!
My investigation into the attack on the Vesper led me to the Santhe shipyards on Corellia, where I was attacked by Imperial loyalists, still working for Morgan Elsbeth.
We have former Imperials working throughout every level of the New Republic government, and they have all taken an oath of loyalty.
Like that means anything?
I see no enemy. The Imperial fleet is scattered and broken. They have no centralized command.
She's being proactive.
You always have to stay skeptical.
Thrawn is not your typical Imperial officer. I've spent most of my life fighting a war, and that's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one.
Grand Admiral Thrawn is dead. And I'm sorry to say it is my opinion that your friend Ezra Bridger heroically died with him.
You don't know that.
That went well.
Hey, Mom! Mom!
There he is.
Jason
He
with
does
the
have
green
the green
hair!
Where did you hear that?
Chopper told me. I want to be a Jedi.
Yeah, I know you do, Jason.
You probably, hopefully will be.
I'm sure he will be.
How come he ended up just looking so human with just green hair?
That was so silly. I think to like give him green hair because Hera is green.
You would think he'd have like Leku or something, like...
Yeah. Maybe like one Leku. Just like one in the middle.
I don't feel it. Not like you do.
Force resides in all living things, even you.
If that's true, then why doesn't everyone use it?
Talent is a factor, but training and focus are what truly defines someone's success.
It'll be interesting to see her go from basically no force ability to like training it.
Maybe. Like maybe she even doesn't use the Force, you know? I feel like if it happens, it's gonna happen like on the fly. When it's like
when she needs it.
fight or flight type of thing,
Yeah.
you know?
My last scan indicates the transport was in orbit on the far side of the planet. However, there also seems to be a second object.
The ring.
Whatever it is has a signature which is unknown to me.
The eye of something.
It's not Sauron.
That's what it sounded like.
It's something else. What is...
Who is this? Oh,
Oh, shit!
Oh, who
Everyone's
are you?
favorite baddie.
Tailgun check-in.
I see you got rid of my presets.
I never needed them.
So you say?
Oh,
How long did they roll together?
yeah.
All these NPC pilots are gonna die.
Does that mean,
They don't
like,
mean anything.
did she try to train her in the Force before and it didn't work, or...
I'm
You know,
assuming
or is this the
there's-
first time she's...
That's what I was thinking about in the last couple episodes, was that it wasn't like the first time that she tried to. It seemed, at least anyway.
We should be able to make visual confirmation now.
You're gonna see the ring.
My precious.
You could just
Go through
with
it!
foot.
No, just kidding.
I mean, it's not complete yet.
It's an obstacle course.
Stay clear. I shall deal with them.
Well, she-
Whoa.
Lasers.
Turbo lasers?
it's in the
This thing has
hyperspace
defenses.
ring. Yeah,
So the entire ring is their ship, basically?
I guess so.
I thought they were gonna go in it, you know, or like go
Yeah,
through.
or it's gonna like
use
have
it.
the portal. You know.
Right. Maybe you could just be in the ring. I can't tell if it's.
Well,
I feel like they're gonna put like a ship through it, right?
it
In
for
it?
me, it felt like that.
But I mean, they have like defenses, and she's in it right now.
Or
and-
it's big enough to get like a
Yeah.
fleet.
Yeah,
'Cause wasn't
yeah.
that a thing in the
Yeah.
Heir to the Empire trilogy?
like a ton of fleet.
Oh, Yang! Yang's down.
Oh gosh, Hu Yang.
Prioritize Sabine. We can't help Wu Yang if we're both dead.
It's just a droid.
He can be fixed.
Parts can be replaced.
What's working?
Not much. Our backup kicked in, but we're
I
dead
like
in
her
space.
sass.
No hyperdrive, no cannons.
We got incoming.
Look fast. I'm going out there.
Out? Look, out, out. She is going out. Whoa. It fits her like Leku. With her lightsabers?
I see. her.
What's she about to do? Oh, Ahsoka! Whoa! Gravity. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. She's
Never
like
seen something like
fighting
this
in
before.
freaking space! Like physically in space.
Did you fix the ship?
She's fine.
What?
She's fine.
I got it. I got it. Great. Go get me.
Oh, because she's just like floating aimlessly. Do you still have your lightsabers? I'm sure you do.
I mean, I feel like it'll be hard to keep your balance.
Okay, there you go.
Go, go, go.
I wonder if like her and Sabine, like Sabine will kind of help bring out. Remember how she used to be kind of more like bubbly and just she had a different personality.
She's very stoic.
She's like
in this
hardened.
show, yeah.
I wonder if Sabine's gonna soften her up again. You know. A Purgle! Several Purgles! They don't get shot in the crossfire. Wow, they were like right up on them.
Well, in I think the last episode, Balin looked up into the sky and you
so
heard them.
they probably are just
They're
kind
just
of
chilling
around
in the clouds
this,
on this planet.
this planet, which is makes sense probably why that ancient civilization was here. Take off your mask.
There was another scene in the trailer where they were like fighting in the woods. I'm assuming that hopefully this is going to lead to that because I'm pretty sure it was Sabine fighting her, Shin, and then Ahsoka fighting possibly Starkiller, possibly Barriss, possibly
Merrick.
Luke. Keeping my mouth closed. It's not that.
It's not that.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
There's no way. I feel like we have to get the face reveal, right? Like, it has to be somebody big. Because nothing's really crazy has happened in this episode, in my opinion, you know?
I feel like episodes like these make me wish that they were all released so that you could watch more.
Yeah.
Binge it.
Some of these shots are pretty cool. Like, they feel like anime a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have this fight in the forest. Let's reveal who this mystery character is.
I feel like we can rule out Barriss because I feel like it's definitely
It's
a man.
dude. Yeah, it's definitely a dude.
They were also freaking tall, and I don't think Barriss was that tall.
A craft with these power levels and configuration would be capable of a hyperspace jump of astonishing speed.
I mean, that's what they need to get to another galaxy.
Make a jump to a neighboring galaxy.
Theoretically, if one knew the coordinates and navigation, yes, I believe it could.
And she's getting spoken to.
Take hyperspace lanes between galaxies, which used to follow the migration paths of star whales named Purgle.
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 Yeah.
Like the ones we just
Migration paths.
Really? When?
We're asleep, bro.
Balin.
Jedi have taken refuge in the forest. Hunt them down.
He's not.
He looks so badass.
I feel like we're gonna have to wait for next episode.
They better not.
For the conflict.
Is that it, really?
Oh, I thought it was a longer. I thought we had 3 minutes.
I thought it was like, yeah, around 34 minutes. There was not much that really happened in this episode, in my opinion.
Scene.
Doubt it. So yeah, in my opinion, not much happened in this episode. It seems like we're gonna have to wait to the next one to, like you said, have that conflict, have possibly a face reveal of this mystery character.
Merrick?
Yeah, we were like I was looking at Sam Witwer, his face, just to see, you know, if we saw his face that I would actually be able to recognize him. I think that this episode felt very, like, kind of reminiscent of the Clone Wars and certain episodes of Rebels where, like, things definitely happened, but it wasn't anything crazy.
It was kind of like a stepping stone episode.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we had to get to this planet to have the conflict.
I feel like a lot of it was a lot of stuff we kind of already anticipated with the hyperspace ring and whatnot, and it was mostly about, like, our protagonist figuring that out. Which, at least for me as the viewer, I was like, come on, let's get to this. Let's get to this. Like, I was waiting for that fight that we saw in the trailer in the forest, which I'm assuming is going to happen this next episode now that we saw Balin saying, like, go hunt these Jedi down. Like I said, not much really happened in this episode. I think I liked the first two a little bit better than this one.
I wonder if Sabine is going to help Ahsoka kind of come back into herself a little bit more. Because right now she's just so stoic.
She's not
just,
the same.
She's so hardened probably by everything that happened. I feel like she does feel a lot of responsibility for a lot of that also. So I wonder if Sabine's going to kind of help her kind of come back to herself.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that is that I think Ahsoka and Sabine look like their animated counterparts, and I feel like Hera probably looks the least like her animated counterpart. However, I feel like Hera has the personality more of her animated counterpart.
Also, with the whole Sabine and Ahsoka thing, it feels like they had a ton of interaction together before.
Yeah. She talked about her presets and
her
whatnot.
presets. And then I'm wondering, like, did they try to do the whole Force thing beforehand? Or, like, did they just not, that wasn't, like, a thing that they even did? Like,
Yeah.
I'm curious what happened in that time period.
I'm still...
Or how long it was, even.
Yeah. So... Obviously, this scene didn't repeat itself, but in the animated version of this, Rebels, we saw Ahsoka show up in like her white uniform with her staff and whatnot. And then we obviously saw that happen again.
I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be like that.
So
thing.
there was that change. Why was there that change? Maybe it was just like, okay, we're not going to go down that path after all. Like, what was that staff even about, you know? But I'm just trying to think about, it's obviously been years since, you know, Ezra and Thrawn have disappeared. In that period of time, I would imagine, I'm guessing, that Ezra, his disappearance kind of led Ahsoka and Sabine to talk about, like, okay, well, maybe we could find him. And this isn't like the first attempt at trying to find Ezra in the first place. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of left unsaid, which... It just kind of makes us like question, like, okay, what actually happened here? But even in the last episode too, we saw that she was on the ship because she had the little drawings, I guess, by her bunk. Which, you know, it's funny. I saw a clip after the fact last week, and I thought there was a church she drew. That was Chopper from the side. It looked like a church. It looked like there was a cross on top of the building and whatnot.
You know, it kind of would make sense if they had previously... I mean, because that's what we saw at the end of Rebels, was like they were going to go look for Ezra. Like, if they did try and obviously weren't successful because they had no way even to get there. I mean, in the show so far, they've learned that he's in another galaxy. They just learned about the Purgles. So I feel like... I don't know what they did in the previous, but right now, obviously, there's more information to go off of, and now they at least have a lead, I guess. Like, okay, we need to somehow get to this next galaxy. I feel like they're probably going to try to either hitch a ride on this giant hyperspace ring, because, like, how else...
I think they're all going.
How else would they get there? You know, like, other than freaking riding the Purgle, like...
Which they don't have that communication with other species like Ezra does.
I feel like they're going to end up on that, however they're going through that big ol' hyperspace ring, too.
I think the way I've heard this show described in, like, I guess, rumors, if you want to call it, was that there's, like, definitely two phases of this. I think that the next episode is going to tease what's going to end up happening in the back half of the episode. It's 8 episodes, so I feel like, you know, it's in 2 different parts here. And then at some point, we're going to make our way to that galaxy. I feel like that's going to happen in the 5th episode. And I feel like my big indication of that is because I looked at like who directed the episodes, and Dave Filoni directed the 5th episode. So if he really wanted to introduce us to a new galaxy, I feel like he'd be the one to like kind of oversee that, and like maybe that's the first episode we see Thrawn. Maybe that's the first episode we see Ezra.
I'm so excited for this new galaxy. Like that is the thing that I'm just looking forward to.
There's so many possibilities.
Because it's like, what is it going to be like? What is it going to look like?
Yeah.
You know, are there going to be other civilizations there? What are they going to learn? Is it going to be like all magic
what if it's our
users?
galaxy? Because you know Star Wars is in a galaxy far, far away.
They
just go to Earth.
Like Ezra and Thrawn are just like chilling, like like a cafe somewhere.
Anyway, I think that next episode they're going to it's going to end, in my opinion, with them going to that galaxy.
Yeah.
And we're not going to see anything. Hopefully, because I feel like that's just kind of like based off of the plot that we've seen up to this point to be expected. Hopefully they reveal this Marok character, and hopefully he's Starkiller or somebody big and important, because I feel like that would be like a really cool reveal leading up into like something bigger. Because up to this point, we really haven't gotten anything, in my opinion, that isn't par from the course in terms of what people expected. I feel like a lot of people expected, okay, we're going to go to wherever Thrawn and Ezra were, wherever that may have been. And up to this point, it's kind of just been like, okay, kind of taking steps. Okay, now there was, the first 2 episodes were kind of like a little bit of a recap
like,
of these characters.
What have they been up to? Yeah.
And then kind of like joining forces. And so now I feel like it's just going to be like Ahsoka and Sabine hitching a ride, kind of like what we speculated, with them to get to the other galaxy. And it feels like the story's really going to start taking off in episode 5. Unfortunately, because I do want to like kind of get to that meat and potatoes of the story. I feel like the first 2 episodes for sure were kind of just like a little bit of a recap of Rebels, This episode was, okay, now setting up the premise. Okay, this is what they're going to use to get there.
The characters have discovered it now, you know, as well as the viewers.
So I'm hoping, because based off this logic, they obviously haven't taken off to that new galaxy yet, and they're in the process of setting up the last little, whatever you want to call it, jet to shoot off over there.
Yeah.
And when they get there, I feel like that's when the real story kicks off.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.